So, 2021, with 2021 coming around the corner of ending, 2021, we all know, is ending very soon. We're almost in 2022. We're almost in a new year. 2022 is just right around the corner at this point. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the negatives and the positives of what I thought 2021 was. So, whatever you say about 2021, this year was, hey, it's better than, it's not as crappy as last year. oh. 2021 really definitely wasn't that great, especially for me. So, in January, the start of this year, if you do not know, I got to talk, and me and what was my first ever girlfriend before, again, what I will come back to before she broke up with me, but she and I first got to meet each other for the first time, which, again, this year I thought was going to be the bestest year of my life, but of what we're going to do, not so much. So, January, a new girl named Abby I got to talk to. She thought I was really cute and handsome, and she found me attractive, so it wasn't so long after. I hate talking about this story now that we're broke up. And for a reason that I don't get, and I feel like I am responsible for it. That I don't know what happened, what I did, but January, we met each other for the first time. It wasn't until February when we became our Valentine's Day. Yes, February I got to celebrate Valentine's for a purpose. Only once, sadly, right now. The only year right now I've celebrated Valentine, and I was actually happy to celebrate. And me and Abby first became a couple. But it wasn't until March when she gave me a call, very upset at me, and she told me that we're through. She was through with me and telling me to lose her number because apparently this is what happened. I was just texting her, right? Texting her. Not bothering her or anything. I was just texting her, right? I was just texting her, you know? This is, again, this was my first ever girlfriend as well. This was my first ever girlfriend. And just texting her, and eventually she got to the point where she just snapped like crap, and she was like, okay, that's it, we're through. For real, that's the story. She had enough of me. Texting her with non-stop. Me just wanting to give a good conversation to my girlfriend, and she was like, screw you, we're done for. So, yeah, now she's my 10 months later. She's still, again, 10 months ago, I have lost her. 10 months ago, when she first broke up with me. 10 months ago. And again, when we first got together, I thought it was going to be one of the bestest days of my life, but at the end of March, my heart just broke completely. Like, y'all do not want to know how upset I was as well. Like, I was I was at home by myself while my mom was having to go to the store, and of course my brother wasn't with me because he was somewhere. I can't remember exactly, but um basically that's when she called me, and I was bursting in tears, wanting to slam my head in the door because I felt like it was my fault that I caused this breakup. I feel like it was my fault. Like, if I wouldn't have texted her so much, we would have still been together to this day, but I had to make this stupid decision that I felt like I was the cause of it. Like, it just seems like... it just still hurts. Oh, God help me. But, I mean, I still see her every Sunday. I mean, I'm completely fine seeing her or being around her now, but oh boy, the beginning of this year was so I thought was great, but no, this year it just turned into a tragedy. Whew. Thanks a lot, Abby, for breaking my heart. And I am just waiting until that perfect someone that won't actually be mad at me. And basically feeling so screwed at me of me just texting my girlfriend, right? Like, it would seem like they would love for when you text them, right? But no, not this one. Not this one. At least I know from my mistake, never text so much now. When I get a new girlfriend, I am going to be not texting so much because I do not want to have the same mistake. It was my fault. I always said it was my fault for texting her so much and making her so screwed at me. And this year was, I thought was one of the happiest, greatest days of my life. That 2 months or a month after we got together, it turned into a broken tragedy. So yeah, thanks a lot, 2021. You really made my year. Oh, and guess what? The same day that my ex-girlfriend broke up with me, the exact same day, Nickelodeon was like, hey, you know how Golden Minecart's girlfriend broke up with him for texting her so much? Which I still think that's a ridiculous reason. And again, it just seemed like they would like it, but again, not Abby, not her, apparently. But you know what Nickelodeon had to do? They had to pull Midlife Crustacean out of airing. Screw Nickelodeon. Like, Nickelodeon are big cowards in general. And they had to pull one of the most harmless episodes for one of the most not bad jokes in SpongeBob. And kids would not even understand. They just can't with Nickelodeon stupidity. Nickelodeon are blind idiots. And I just can't with them, too. I can't with Nickelodeon. I'm getting to a point where they seem like stupid, dumb cowards, pretty much, Nickelodeon has become. But yeah, they had to pull one of the most harmless episodes from our childhoods, from a classic Stephen Hillenburg era, due to one joke that no kid, I am telling you, no kid would ever get. I mean, yeah, when they're older, they would wonder what it is, but no kid, no little 5-year-old or so-year-old would even care. Nickelodeon are stupid freaks, and they don't have... It seems like their stupidity is just gone above this year, and they are just crap. Nickelodeon is. And heck, while we're talking about banned episodes, this is a positive. They banned an episode that SpongeBob never needed, Quarantine Crab. And I regret watching it twice, both in some language and both English. Like, I regret watching this episode. This episode was trash. Like, SpongeBob never needed a quarantine episode. I mean, this episode was in production or made before the pandemic. But this episode never needed to exist. And again, this is where Nickelodeon's stupidity comes from, too. I mean, it's probably for the best that SpongeBob should have ended at this point. Right? They should have ended at this point. Or maybe they should have stuck with Steven Hillenburg's original plans. Because Nickelodeon's stupidity has gone above and beyond. And they're just stupid, brainless cowards that just need to go and piss themselves or something. But they are stupid idiots, Nickelodeon are. And I just have to feel bad for Steven Hillenburg and what he feels about these idiotic team that he used to work with. But this was one thing that I was happy with that was banned. Because this episode never needed to exist in the first place. Also in March, we got Crash on the Run. Yes, Crash on the Run. We got Crash on the Run back in March of this year. In a simpler time when my girlfriend was still with me as well. I mean, again, those were back in the simpler times, I could just say. But we first got Crash on the Run, first launch. And people say that it's a bad mobile game, like, what? 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 When they say that, like, what? Are they complete nitwits? And they would probably, and everybody that doesn't like Crash on the Run should say, no, I'm a dunderhead. That's what they should say. Like on the Looney Tunes show. That's what it should be. But, yeah, Crash on the Run first launched back in March and had its seasonal events. And the Noid. A crossover with Domino's Pizza's mascot, the Noid. And breaking familiar faces as well, too. Back into the franchise. Like the pink elephant from Gone a Bit Coco as one of the enemies, and the androids from Twinsanity. And again, seasonal events are still going to happen, just, again, not any more of 2021. But yeah, Crash on the Run is another good thing that I found great about this year. Also in March, I got Crash Bandicoot 4 It's About Time had its multiple ports. Had its ports for Switch, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and PC. Well, yeah, later on in March it was up for PC as well. But yeah, Crash 4 had its multi-ports. Its ports update, and fixed Polar as well. And brought us the bone skins as well, skeleton skins. And again, that's another thing that was great of the beginning of this year. And also, I got my Switch for the first time back at the beginning of this year as well. Sometime before Crash 4 came out on the Switch. The third SpongeBob movie finally released this year. You know, certain countries did get the SpongeBob movie last year, but us in the US and different countries never got it. And we finally managed to get it this year on the release of Paramount. Yeah, Paramount also first came out this beginning of this year as well, along with Camp Coral, which I don't hate. It's not my favorite spinoff, obviously. And then in July, speaking of SpongeBob, we got the Patrick Star Show, Patrick spinoff, which I find to be kind of way better than Camp Coral, pretty much. I just find it to be a little bit better than Camp Coral. But we also got the Patrick Star Show, and we got confirmation as well that a Sandy, live-action Sandy movie is in production as well. And, of course, would not be out until, heck, probably sometime not until next year or so. Because I think it was back in August or so that it started in production. But yeah, confirmation that the live-action Sandy movie would be coming. November, we got Home Sweet Home Alone. We finally got the 6th installment of Home Alone, which people despise Home Sweet Home Alone, and, well, me, I treat it with good. I treat Home Sweet Home Alone with good care. I mean, it's obviously not as good as 1 and 2, but it's up there with it, I find. And I find it really great as well. I loved Home Sweet Home Alone. It's definitely was one of a real great movie I found. And again, people can despise and put hatred towards this, and some people like me would treat it with good care and stuff, you know. Oh boy, Activision. I've talked enough about Activision, but Activision has been very bad this year. Activision really has been bad, especially when it comes to Crash and Spyro. Like, oh, and we're going to get back to Crash too. And especially what they did to Crash this year. That was very sad. We'll get back to them. Back in October, we got, on Minecraft Live, we got the reveal of the Minecraft 1.19, the Wild update. That is finally going to be introducing the Warden, Deep Dark, and the Skulk, and the Ancient Cities that was revealed. Introducing the Swamp update that we got to vote for couple years back, with frogs, tadpoles, mangrove trees, mangrove forest, mud, fireflies, mud bricks, new wood, and much more, too. In October 5th, we got Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. That released. When it fully released. Way better, I can just say, than also, or, you know, Smash Brothers, I could just say. A way better version, I can just say. But it fully released back in October. We got a special Steven Hillenburg in memory for Steven Hillenburg that was so beautiful and so great, with Steve's family and people that used to go to the school that Steven Hillenburg first graduated from, and they put a yellow park bench to represent SpongeBob and Steven Hillenburg, and again, put this plaque next to it too, and again, to represent and thank Steven Hillenburg as well for, and again, especially since it's been since 3 years. 3 years. 3 years back in November since Steven Hillenburg's passed, which, that is ridiculous. That has already been 3 years that since Steven Hillenburg passed. I never could believe it's already been 3 years. It doesn't feel like it. It really doesn't feel like it's been 3 years since Steven Hillenburg passed away. Which I can't believe, but this was a great in memory for him that I'm so glad that they did. And the SpongeBob voice actors got to be with the students as well that were there, also with Steve's family. So everybody got to take pictures with Tom Kenny and all of them. And again, these are not in actual order as well. But back in May, I first made my streaming channel as well. 1203 Live. On my birthday, I got Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl for my Switch. Which it was so great to have this game on my Switch. The Game Awards. Oh man, the Game Awards. Oh, I hate. Just thinking of the Game Awards this year makes you feel nasty inside. Just because of how people say of how bad, and it was garbage, too. And there's a reason also. Activision. Activision wasn't there, of course, because of how Activision was this year. And Wumpa League as well. All the teasers with Wumpa League. You know, that we all thought Wumpa League was going to be with the pinatas and the Crash Anniversary trailer that says, Happy Anniversary, Crash. We'll see more of you very soon. Like, everything was lining up, and again, the Game Awards just completely turned it all onto our faces and dumped it all away. And we were really hoping and thinking that the Game Awards was going to be today, but nope. By a tweet by Jeff Keighley saying that Activision wasn't going to be there. And they were right. Or he was right, they weren't there. Which I was not surprised. Upset, but not surprised too. And I didn't even watch the Game Awards because I knew Crash wasn't going to be there. Neither does Spyro. So, yeah, the Game Awards was bad. The only thing that I liked about the Game Awards was the Sonic 2 trailer. That's it. Back in June, we got part 1 of Caves and Cliffs. June, we got the first part of Caves and Cliffs, and back in, I know, can't remember which months though, but when they announced that Caves and Cliffs was basically, split, right? The split of Caves and Cliffs as well, which, again, was not great. It wasn't great either. It was not great with Caves and Cliffs being split. Which, again, none of us wanted it, right? None of us wanted Caves and Cliffs to be delayed, obviously. Back on April 14th, it was announced on the Minecraft channel that Caves and Cliffs was split into 2 parts. And, again, the first part came out 2 months after the announcement that it was split into 2 parts. And then in November, all the way until November. So part 1 in June, part 2 in November. So let's see. 5 months after part 1 of Caves and Cliffs, we got part 2 of Caves and Cliffs with the new world gen and the caves as well. Back in September, we got the reveal of the SpongeBob Cosmic Sake by Purple Lamp Studios and on THQ Nordic's 10-year anniversary stream, where Jeff Keighley, right at the end, revealed SpongeBob the Cosmic Sake, which is a brand new SpongeBob game in decades, being made by the same studio that made Rehydrated. And even though we haven't seen no gameplay of this game, we are going to hopefully be getting this next year, sometime next year. I made a playlist of the videos of the Cosmic Sake, so if you want to go and check the videos I've made there, go and check it out. But we got the reveal of the Cosmic Sake, a brand new SpongeBob game that is going to be going through portals. Yes, just like Crash 4 Rift Apart. That this game, SpongeBob is now getting the treatment of portals and dimensions, or in this case, wish worlds, and cosmic jelly, and a fortune teller as well, that and SpongeBob and Patrick waste their wishes tear, or mermaid's tears, and cause their friends to go lost in the wish worlds, which we're having to find. Oh, Hotel Transylvania 4. This movie had constant delays. I'm going to be, of course, mentioning them from this year, but back in May, we got the reveal the reveal trailer, the first trailer of Hotel Transylvania for Transformania, and then that it was supposed to, the original release of it was July 23rd. It got delayed. Do you know where? October 1st. And then October 1st, it got delayed again to now January 14th. Which finally they decided to stick with January 14th. Which they have made not so long ago, that they have stuck in with January 14th. And again, Adam Sandler is no longer Drac for the final movie. And it was announced too that Hotel Transylvania 4 Transformania is the final installment to the Hotel Transylvania franchise. And finally we get to see this movie next month, only Prime Video. So hopefully you'll have Prime Video, because this is the only place to watch Hotel Transylvania 4 Transformania as well. The SpongeBob movie the first SpongeBob movie turned 17 years old back in, gotta remember, I think it was November. I think it was. Just want to check just to be sure. Just want to be sure. November 19th. Yeah, November 19th of 2004. 17 years of the first SpongeBob movie, and the original end to SpongeBob as well. Steven Hillenburg's basically continuation. That was supposed to be the end of the but again, that continued and now has two more movies, two spin-offs, spin-off movie with Sandy in the works, and has 13 seasons with recently released not so long ago the new third official Christmas special, which is SpongeBob's Road to Christmas. Well, speaking of which, SpongeBob's Road to Christmas, which came out the day exactly after my birthday. Which it has SpongeBob, Patrick, and Plankton traveling to the North Pole to deliver Santa a present. Which basically he didn't receive until 7 months later in July, when SpongeBob finds Santa's present and is eager to get it back to him, which SpongeBob and Patrick and Plankton go to the North Pole, which they think is the North Pole, but it's actually basically the hometown of Patchy the Pirate, which we see Patchy the Pirate and Potty the Parrot in a 2D art style as well. Actually animated, which we've seen them animated before, but not in this look as well. And of course, December 9th, I turned 18 years old. Yes, I have turned 18 years old. How crazy is that? And of course, on my birthday as well, Garfield, the first DLC fighter of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, joined the game, along with his stage, Sweet Dreams, which is filled with lasagna and much more, which is crazy, ain't it? So, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure all notifications turned on so you don't miss anything new on my channel, and let me know the consequences of this video. And let's hope that next year will be really great, I could just say. So hopefully y'all enjoy it, we'll see you next video, bye!